Here lies Bidsy Vanyard, drowned in rum. If the Hall of Echoes a tavern be, her seat is reserved. Here lies an unnamed bag of bones, found long after the flood.
If she weren't blindfolded, I might think she's keeping an eye on me. If she weren't blindfolded, I might think she's keeping an eye on me. It won't respond to my touch. If she weren't blindfolded, I might think she's keeping an eye on me. If she weren't blindfolded, I might think she's keeping an eye on me.
Here lies an unknown wanderer. We are glad to give her rest. Here lies an unknown traveller, stopped to ask for water, fell ill and died. We are glad to give him rest. Here reposes an unknown alchemist, whose scars glowed after her death. She lies here, but not in darkness. We are glad to give her rest. Here reposes an unknown alchemist, whose scars glowed after her death. She lies here, but not in darkness. We are glad to give her rest. Here lies an unknown wagoner, run over by his own cart. We are glad to give him rest. Here reposes an unknown alchemist, whose scars glowed after her death. She lies here, but not in darkness. We are glad to give her rest. Here lies an unknown songstress, who sang in the night and did beguile us. We found her body in the morning. We are glad to give her rest. Here lies an unknown ne'er-do-well, tried to steal the wrong man's gold. We are glad to give him rest. Here lies an unknown thief who drank too much and gave herself away. We are glad to give her rest. Here lies an unknown vagabond who died in her sleep with her boots still on. We are glad to give her rest. Here lies an unknown tall man, fell hard upon hard times and barely fit the box. We are glad to give him rest. Here lies an unknown pious priest, stopped for a moment's peace, found a great deal more. We are glad to give him rest. Here lies an unknown adventurer who came to us with tales of blood and died still with all his own. We are glad to give him rest. Here lies honest Dorild, or whatever his real name was. We are glad to give him rest. Here lies honest Dorild, or whatever his real name was. We are glad to give him rest.
Forever at rest.
Here lies honest Dorild, or whatever his real name was. We are glad to give him rest. Here lies Phylan Surrey, whose family's generous patronage helped build these burial grounds, and who refused to be buried in the Surrey crypt. Here lies Phylan Surrey, whose family's generous patronage helped build these burial grounds, and who refused to be buried in the Surrey crypt. Here lies Galen Heavendale, a lost soul, executed in his prime, aged 19.
He's as close to a guardian angel as it gets out here.
Here lies Old Man Malik. No dancing on this grave. Here lieth Haverley North and child, struck down by a sorcerer fiend most vile. Here lieth Haverley North and child, struck down by a sorcerer fiend most vile. The lizard hums tunelessly, not a melody exactly, but more of a meandering moan.
10 spans under, humans slept. 10 spans up, the dwarves were kept. Lizards burned in lasting flame. Elven trees towards skies did aim.
She looks to your left with one eye, and to your right with
It helps me remember where the dead go. Sometimes they don't stay where I put them. That's okay.
She smiles at you with the innocence of a newborn. The hum still throbs in her throat.
Keeping watch, tending the graves.
She returns to her humming. She flinches as you...
No touching.
Her humming fades. The eerie silence lasts for several seconds.
Riker might get mad. He doesn't like it when someone touches his things.
She shivers and whispers.
Powerful sorcerer. Lives here, right in the garden. He can take the you from you.
She points at her head.
The servants, they got nothing up there. Riker has it all now. They need to be freed. Only way. Kill Riker. The servants, so lost, chained by Sorcerer Riker, but they can still go home.
The ensuing silence lasts for several seconds, until she picks up the melody once again and turns away. She hums quietly. The notes move in rhythm with her wandering eyes. She hums quietly.
Too heavy. Won't budge.
The creature barely notices you.
Eternally engaged in prayer to a god who may or may not hear.
Here lies an unnamed child of the Harkwood family. Their sorrows know no bounds. Here lies an unnamed child of the Harkwood family. Their sorrows know no bounds. Here lies an unnamed child of the Harkwood family. Here lies their sorrows know no bounds, whose family's generous patronage helped build these burial grounds, and who refused to be
just
buried
when I think
in
this
the
land
Surrey
holds
crypt.
still.
You were kind and honest and devoted to your dog, but you came a-knocking here in search of work, and the dog took a fancy to the man of the house. Your own... Here lies Marjolenia Pruitt, who won many battles, at the bridge and elsewhere. Here lies Partman Winchie Pruitt, too generous by half. Horsemen pass by. Here lies Partman Winchie Pruitt, too generous by half. Horsemen
Look out!
pass by.
I see a trap nearby. I should neutralise this thing before it does damage.
Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Here lies Secundia Pruitt, wife to the first of Driftwood's bridge masters, and scourge of the recalcitrant traveller. An ancient grave marker. The name upon it has faded away. You recognize the dog from the town square in Driftwood. The wounds from his spiked collar...
Oh, hi! How are you? I'm good. Hey, do you smell that? It smells like the fish place, doesn't it? Like fish, only, worse. Okay, bye!
Here lies Marjolenia Pruitt, who won many battles, at the bridge and elsewhere. Here lies an unnamed child of the Harkwood family. Their sorrows know no bounds. Here lies honest Dorald, or whatever his real name was. We are glad to give him rest.
Buff, look at all these bones. What's this? I found something. It still sounds stuck. Must be more to it. Garbage. What's this? I found something. Ha! Success! It's shut tight.
It won't budge. How inconvenient.
The door! It's shut tight.
Just when I think this land holds no more still.
What did that do? What did that do? Not the outcome I'd hoped for. Maybe this one. That could have gone better. Maybe this one. That's not really what I had in mind. What did that do? I think a different approach. Maybe this one. Not really what I had in mind. What did that do? What did that do? I think a different approach is in order. What did that do? That's not fast. Maybe it's connected. That's not fast. Maybe it's connected to some other mechanism? That's not really what I had in mind. What did that do? What did that do? I think a different approach is in order. What did that do? It's shut tight. That could have gone better. Try a different order. What did that do? What did that do? Hear that? It did something. What a shame. All this wealth's just been going to waste. Too heavy.
You feel the unusual object's vast energy before your hand even touches its smooth surface. Upon contact, the semi-transparent, you know this language. It is an archaic tongue spoken only by demons for...
When as one, I am slayer of sin and the bane of the living. Restore my twin, make me whole. In archive of old the blade resides, an isle of blood where demons abide.
The oblong object is crystal clear and unmarked by marks or chips. It rests snugly in your palm, as if meant to be gripped with a resolute hand. The object repeats its cryptic remarks.
What the hell? This creature's as blank as a silent monk. Dark magic at work.
You recognize the...
Oh, hi!
Time and the elements have left this grave marker illegible.
Above, look at all these bones. What's this? I found something. It's still stuck. There must be another one. What's this? I found something. Ha! Success! That's a lot fast. Maybe it's connected to some other mechanism? Oh, the door! Maybe this one. Not the outcome I'd hoped for. What did that do? What did that do? Hear that? It did something. Shame. All this wealth's just been going to waste.
Like so many other spirits, this one is hardly silent. She clicks and squawks the moment you approach her, like a cornered crow facing down a hungry owl.
Are you the new servant, then? A pity. Seems the standard is plummeting quickly. You brought my tea, have you?
The spirit takes the invisible cup from you and takes a sip of...
I've tasted better brews, but from the look of you, the refreshments won't be...
She waits a moment.
You expecting a tip? Well, here's one. Moist your eyes. That old thing, it was passed to me by my father, Johannius. And my father's father, Johannius. And my father's 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 father, Johannius. Don't know what happened to one in the middle. Don't rightfully know what it's supposed to do. Johannius, the umpteens, brought it back from Blood Moon Island. I thought it might be good for stirring stew, but the cook gave it back. Said it made her feel funny. Whatever that...
The spirit stands there smiling, as if she hadn't just uttered the words of demons. Luckily, you understood them. Anathema seeks blood.
What just happened? You mean my display of proper posture and etiquette? The benefits of charm school I don't expect. Hurry back. The eyebrows still...
Too heavy. Won't much.
You feel the you know...
When as one, I am slayer of sin and the bane of the living. Restore my twin, make me whole.
The object speaks once more, and you consider your fortune...
I'm demon true, taken to Isle of Vaults, exorcised from host most dear. The priest, Surrey by name, confined my soul to blade of glass and bone, then split into anathema, I'm called, but only halves before you. In archives rest the blade. The path is marked.
The heirloom is silent once more. The oblong object is crystal clear and unmarked by marks or chips. It rests snugly in your palm, as if meant to be gripped with a resolute hand. The object repeats.
You're back. Good. I'm ready for my tweezing.
This thing speaks to me. But what is it trying to say?
Sounds like a demon with a swollen tongue. I wonder if what's inside is as pleasant as a demon with a
Wild guess here, but I'll wager this relic will turn out you.
My tongue! It's speaking the language of the Eternals. I mean, it is gibberish, but such beautifully phrased gibberish.
Cursed to pray for eternity. But for now, eternally engaged in prayer to a God who made.
What can I do for you?
Cursed.
The servant grumbled.
When the kingdom is decaying, what good is a king?
Here lies Blodwyn Rhys. Rest well, sweet mother and wife. May those whose love to her was given reunite within the hall. Here rests Gawain Rhys, fitfully, son of Idwal, brother to Gwydion, undeservedly loved, unreservedly condemned. May the seven withhold their grace. Here lies Roland Harcourt, beloved husband of Prudence, attentive father to Niles, buried near his daughters. Here lies Amelia Harcourt, daughter of Roland and Prudence, sister to Carlin, Farron and Niles, knifed in her bed by assailants unknown. Here lies Farron Harcourt, daughter of Roland and Prudence, sister to Amelia, Carlin and Niles, died of an unexplained illness. The dog growls and bares its teeth at you in a wide, unsettling grin. You swear you see a worm emerge. The dog growls and bares its teeth at you in a...
Come closer. I dare you.
Slobber drips from the dog's bared fangs. Where the driblets land, the soil bubbles.
Come closer.
He sniffs. He
I am death, There's no defying me.
The dog's growls intensify and transform into a rhythmic rasp that mimics laughter. You swear you...
Oh, but the death you think you know is an illusion. Those who meet their true end are puppets. Not one step further. I know what you want here, but Canna's already laid claim to it. Ha! She calls herself master. I call her minion. Whatever name you choose, it is her hand that will wield.
The dog raises its head to the stormy sky and howls. The earth beneath you vibrates, a dirge plucked on the strings of a rotting lute.
Necrotic troll, you are summoned. Crawl through the gate. The earth open.
So still here. Like the air itself's been petrified.
The petrified body is both hard and brittle, as if it might shatter were it to topple over. At first, you might think the figure is a simple stone statue, but it bears no chisel marks, no uneven surfaces, no signs of polishing. This is... At first, you might think the figure is a simple stone statue, but it...
The petrified woman cannot speak.
Won't budge.
You scrape your finger along the statue and note the dust that coats it.
Well, isn't this rich? Cursed by a coffin, and rescued by a cadaver. The indignity.
She huffs in annoyance.
Oh, all this trouble, and for nothing. Never figured I'd need frost armour. Oh, but do forgive me. Allow me to bow in gratitude.
She bows in insincere reverence. Her arm rests on her back, hand mere inches from her staff. She looks into the darkness that curtains your face, then...
Oh, honey, so naive. Anathema's still out there, and I'm not keen on
A jolt of cursed fire flares from her staff, and...
Bring it.
you scrape your finger along the statue and note the dust that coats it. It's petrified from head to toe. The petrified...
What can I do for you?
Here lies Glen Raymond, proud father, died in penury. Here lies Victor Flynn, a life story cut short here.
Here, only a pile of rocks. Faked his own death, did he? That's one way to avoid debtor's prison.
Here lies Glen Raymond, proud father, died in penury. Here lies Glen Raymond, proud father, died in penury. Here lies Bidsy Vanyan, drowned in rum. If the Hall of Echoes a tavern be, her seat is reserved. Here lies Bidsy Vanyan, drowned in rum. If the Hall of Echoes a tavern be, her seat is reserved.
Locked in perpetual prayer. Keep trying, my friend. Too heavy.
Here resteth Edmund Vanelick, gallant soldier, nearly a hero. Here lies Ogden Quincy, poet and tavern wit. Here lieth the clown, thank the gods. Here lies Ogden Quincy, poet and tavern wit. Here lieth the clown, thank the gods. Here lies the body of Riona Lee, drowned in the flood of '83. A passing drifter tried to save her, and himself was dragged under. Here lies the body of Riona Lee, drowned in the flood of '83. A passing drifter tried to save her, and himself was dragged under. Here lies the body of Riona Lee, drowned in the flood of '83. A passing drifter tried to save her, and himself was dragged under. Here lies Jim Free, taciturn in life, silent in death. Here lies Bidsy Vanyan, drowned in rum. If the Hall of Echoes a tavern be, her seat is reserved. Here lies Bidsy Vanyan, drowned in rum. If the Hall of Echoes a tavern be, her seat is reserved.
This creature is as blank as a silent monk.
The servant grumbles.
Dark magic at work. Just when I think this land still.
Here lies Maurinia Grigsby Bartlett, died wealthy days after her husband, aged 21. Here lies the body of our bunker old Grigsby, died wealthy and old, aged 47. The eagle glowers at you with one baleful eye, keeping the other eye firmly.
You dare touch Master's gifts. No invitation. Leave now. Leave me and Master alone.
The eagle glowers at you with one baleful eye, keeping the other eye.
You dare touch Master's gifts.
The eagle glowers at you balefully, with eyes like shiny little buttons. One manicured and beribboned claw shoots forth to claim the stringy offal before him. Stretching his neck forward, he peers closely at...
Pretty eyes. Eyes that see far.
The eagle's own eyes glitter with avarice.
Master tied them on. Pretty ribbons. Match my pretty claws. Match your pretty eyes.
Peck, peck, peck. The eagle pecks free some choice lump of gristle from deep within the corpse. He swallows it whole, dark blood dripping from his beak, and matting the fluffy feathers.
Master died, but Master told me what to do. All my life told me you are what you eat. So I do. I will become the Master. Unless you are not the new Master, are you?
The eagle glowers.
You dare!
Biting deep into the rotting flesh, your senses are assailed with a rank odour of meat long past its prime. Your memory waits. You see myriad wings flapping, your hand scattering birdseed. You hear the screeching of eagles, the tearing of flesh. All of your life is centred on this place, this pedestal of death. All of your life is dedicated to feeding your eagles the meat of your dearly departed. Peck, peck, peck. The eagle pecks
Back? And what want? Master
peck, peck, peck.
Master died, but Master told me...
Watch yourself. There's a voice whispering promise. Word is that they'll be walking about with flesh on their bones again if they send you to the wall. You're God-woken, ain't you? Don't ask me why. But someone out there's got it in for you and everything.
Two dwarven spirits at loggerheads. In a flash, you are both of them, brother and sister. Your feminine side is a rebel, rising up against the tyrannical queen. Your masculine side is a royalist, loyal to the monarch. As the brother, you rescue your sister from the pikes of the royal guard. Together, you flee across the sea to the melting pot of Driftwood and Reaper's Coast. But in Driftwood, you visit the lizard. You are the sister, and you know that something is wrong. You climb the stairs to rescue your brother, and find him fighting for his life against the dwarves who would rob him. Both of you die, but your killers do right by their fellow dwarves, and bring you here to lay you to rest. As spirits, you fight for eternity, one convinced that the Queen is a tyrant, the other that your treason was wrong.
Watching the birds pick your body clean is almost soothing. At least you know you're doing some good for a creature. And it means that elf ain't getting his claws on my corpse. Not mine specifically, but he creeps from grave to sepulchre, taking what he wants. Whatever he...
A grim expression passes across her face as she looks out over the grave.
The dead don't rest easy in this garden. Not by half. He lives in the big house by the gate. I ain't about to wander up and ask for a name, mind. The less I see of him, the happier I'll...
That inspiration. We're an example.
Within the stone garden's walls, peace be thy immortal fortune, relieved of toil, free of indignity, until thou art called to serve.
What's this? I found something.
I've spotted something.
The plinth of the statue bears a series of deep, circular scratches upon its stone. The statue can be rotated. The sculpture looks impossibly heavy, yet turns with little effort. The sculpture looks impossibly heavy, yet turns with little effort. The headless statue looms over you. Its plinth bears the same rotation scratches as its counterpart.
What's this?
You there! Help me, please! Some thoughtless fool buried me in this grave to be left as fodder for the worms. I can't be at peace. The eternal fire burns in the lizard quarter of the cemetery. I beg you, cast my remains... I should have known your kind would seek recompense.
These must be the remains of that lizard spirit, just as he said.
You have done me a great service, friend. Now, the whole...
The chest before you hear a deep rumbling from inside the chest, and a voice emerges. It hisses and clicks, but doesn't make any... The chest responds with more hissing. It's a language, but you don't understand it. Given the pictograms, you assume it's an ancient lizard. The familiar stone figure is a welcoming sight in the unwelcoming gloom. Your eyes close, death's shadows lift, rain becomes sun. Whatever fear this graveyard provoked is now bathed in brilliant light. Pauline Lacey lies here, burned in her bed. As in life, so in death. Pauline Lacey lies here, burned in her bed. As in life, so in death. Pauline Lacey lies here, burned in her bed. As in life, so in death. Vilnix Creever. Almost sounds like a lizard name. But here lieth Jeffer, first name unknown, and of no further use. A lonely traveller did pass. We found her lying in the grass. We saw the smile upon her face, and gave her a final resting place. A lonely traveller did pass. We found her lying in the grass. We saw the smile upon her face, and gave her a final resting place. A lonely traveller did pass. We found her lying in the grass. We saw the smile upon her face, and gave her a final resting place. The statue gestures. The spirit does not talk. The spirit does not respond to your The spirit gives you a tortured glance, then turns away to stare at... Arthur Bree lies here, sadly missed by customers and family alike. Here lies Porphyria Swan, died of shrieking hysteria. Let the gossips chatter, no matter.
Our shield speaks, Quercus!
Here rests Timus Anchoret. Ever may he look out upon the woods he loved so dearly.
Help! A mind of this magnitude shouldn't be cursed to live like this. Can you dig me up? Don't worry, there's nothing funny about me. I'm waiting.
The skeleton tries to brush the dirt from his clattering bones, then frowns. The moistest bits are still stuck in his cracks and crevices.
Thanks. You're probably looking for a reward, but I haven't got much. Except, you know...
He pokes a finger against his ossified head.
I'm a bit of a philosopher, you see. Not much else to be, what with all that thinking time. Oh, but I don't just go around giving knowledge away like a common meat.
The skeleton pauses and sighs, then straightens his spine.
A soul bond will settle it. A battle of wits. Then the cosmos itself will decide who can better face the truth of our own essence, me or you. A weak soul may not survive the bond. But I'm sure you'll be just fine. Oh, it's easy. We link up souls and share our innermost beliefs. Think of it like an innocent little duel. The winner, the loser, well... Battle is dangerous, is it not? I find it to be true anyway, even when you're battling your own mortality. The angst can prove terminal to the weak will. Oh, how fun. Just touch this bone on my rib cage here, right over where my heart would be, if... well...
You reach for the rib in question, but nothing feels different. Not until you try to pull your finger...
All right, mister. Deep thought. First up, our purpose in life. I say it's to accumulate knowledge. Pretty great answer, eh?
His jaws clack together in a show of self-assurance. You question your response the moment it leaves your lips. Your entire body shivers anxiously as you wonder, what is this life's...
You poor, precious, pathetic thing. That's what happens when you gaze into... Let's see if you can do better this time. Tell me, Sammy Smarty Pants. If I say no, the gods guide our every move. I dare you to outsmart me now. Oh, gods, I can hardly bear to...
The skeleton hangs his head low, then...
One last query. Is there a difference between right and wrong? The truth is that there is not. Only action and consequence. Oh-ho! I got you there.
You feel the bond break between your finger and the skeleton. The truth of your final answer momentarily calms you, but it is not enough to ease the inner pain ripping through your mind, soul, and body. The pressure builds and builds.
Such a pity. Francis Philosopher. Looks like you recovered from your existential crisis. I hope you find that wisdom. If it ain't Francis Philosopher. Looks like you recovered from your existential crisis. I hope you find that wisdom you're looking for. If it ain't...
Mourn not for Crispin, a simpleton's idea of a clever man, and a poor man's idea of a rich one. Here rests Timus Ankeret. Ever may he look out upon the woods he loved so dearly. Here rests Timus Ankeret. Ever may he look out upon the woods he loved so dearly. Here lies Porphyria Swan, died of shrieking hysteria. Let the gossips chatter, no matter. A lonely traveller did pass. We found her lying in the grass.
Just when I think this
we
last
saw the
ill-
smile upon her face and gave her a final resting place. A lonely traveller did pass. We found her lying in the grass. We saw the smile upon her face and gave her a final resting place. Here lies Zebedee Harron, would sell his granny, but at the fairest of prices. Here lies an unknown farmhand, not a dwarf, but of them, a smallish man of no small heart. The servant responds with a blank look and a low groan. As you approach, the salamander turns its head away. The salamander's tongue flickers, tasting you on the air. It turns towards you, letting out a long, low rumble. The lizard takes a step towards you, and its chattering grows louder. You feel like it's trying to tell you. The servant grumbles. The creature barely notices your presence.
visitor. Such a rare and exquisite pleasure, especially from one so unliving.
The elf tilts his head backwards, but
call me Riker. Please, do avail yourself of my creature comforts. You've surely come a long way. Look around you, good sir. I live among the graves. I'd be a most unsavory neighbor if I let myself, and yet I suspect there's even more to know about you. Isn't that right, Godwoken? So much potential, but still so naive. It is my very business to know things human. I also see you are not yet...
He presses a slender forefinger against his tight lips.
I'm not a generous man, but I could give you what you seek if you offer something in return. A completely fair exchange between... Let's not be so secretive, my good fellow. You're dying to show off those smoldering talents of yours. I can help you with that. I can share my bond with the source with you, fill your well to the brim, make you a master. The rest of the story, well, you are cautious. An admirable quality. However, my requirements are very simple. You go to the Black Pits, to a cavern there. In it, you'll find...
He points to the location.
Bring it to...
Dizziness. It lasts just a moment, but long enough for you to feel Amadia's presence. You hear no words, yet understand. It's imperative you accept Riker's bargain. The episode passes. Riker is peering at you intently. He awaits your reply.
Oh, but heading to the Black Pits would mean tangling with more magisters. And there's such an... It's a miracle of the ancients. Priceless, really, and powerful. I won't bore you with further detail. Suffice it to say, it is safer in my hands than in theirs.
Riker's lips stretch and his cheeks bulge, but you couldn't rightly call his
I'm a man of taste, as you no doubt see. A relic this significant would make an incredible addition to my collection. Don't deny an old elf his simple pleasures. A promise you'd best fulfill.
Riker bows his head deeply.
Then you'll have the power you seek, if not the power that trumps it. There will always be one greater, you know. Now please, don't let me keep you. Tarquin. Ah, that must be the fellow I found. There are some types, deceitful types, that don't deserve to be among a place of such treasure. He doesn't appreciate what the dead...
He turns the back of his hand towards you and waves it back and forth, nudging...
Do be sure to see yourself out. These tomes demand my attention.